Hello, in this video we are going to see how to solve quadratic equation using factor method. And before we start it, we want to review factoring. And the first one is simple trinomial factoring. Okay, for this question, we want to find the x-intercepts, and we know that if we are able to factor it, then from the factored form we could find the x-intercept easily. So in order to factor it, we have the x game, so times together equals the last number, I together equals 7. And in order to find these two numbers, you could find the factor of 10. 10 divided by 1 give you 10, 10 divided by 2 give you 5, 3, 4 doesn't work, 10 divided by 5 is 2, repeat, so you have two different pairs of factors. So from these two pairs, we know 2 and 5 times together is 10, I together is 7. So we could factor it. Simple trinomial, we could put x inside the bracket. X times x give you x squared, and the two numbers we found put in the bracket. So 2 times 5 give you 10, and the cross 2x, 5x, I together give you 7x, so it works. And from this factored form, we know that the x-intercepts will be the opposite of the number inside the bracket. So compare it with y equals a x minus s bracket x minus t, then the st are the x-intercepts. So compare it, we know that x-intercept will be the opposite of the number in the bracket. So -2, y equals 0, and also -5, 0. Okay? And we do the same thing. Find the two numbers, times together is positive 9, I together is -6. So the factor of 9 is 9 divided by 1. 9 divided by 2 doesn't work. 9 divided by 3 give you 3. So from these numbers, you will see that the larger number need to have the same sign as the sum. It will be negative. Time together positive, so the two numbers need to be same sign. Then we know that -3 will work. So it will be y equals x, then the -3 put inside. So opposite number with inside the bracket, it will be your x-intercept. So it will be +3, 0, repeat. Or in other ways, you could think is you let each bracket equal 0, then move the -3 to other side, give you +3, so x equals 3. This is your x-intercept. So one bracket is 0, 0 times anything give you 0, so y equals 0. X-intercept means the graph intersect with the x-axis. On the x-axis, the y will be 0. So we are looking for the number of x will make y equals 0. So 3 minus 3 give you 0. So that's its reason we are going to have an opposite number for the x-intercept. So this is for the simple trinomial. And today we are going to see how we can apply this factor method to solve for the x-intercept for triple complex trinomial. Complex trinomial means the number in front of the x squared is not 1. Okay, so we are going to practice more. This is a review again. So solve each one and check for a. So this one, opposite number, so it's 1, 0, and 2, 0. So we are going to check why it works. X equals 1, we sub in. We have y equals 1 minus 1 times 1 minus 2. Then we have 0. So this is a point on the graph is 1, 0. That is your x-intercept. If x equals 2, we sub into the original equation, x replaced by 2. So 2 minus 1 times 2 minus 2. You will have 1 times 0. It is 0. So 2, 0, it is the point on the x-axis. They are the x-intercept. So y equals 0. And this one opposite, negative 2, 0, and 4, 0. Or you could just write it as negative 2 and 4 because we know that it will be on the x-axis. So now we continue to solve for the x. So this one is common as a simple trinomial factoring. So we are looking for two numbers times together is negative 3, add together is negative 2. Or you could use the x game. Times together negative 3, add together negative 2. We put the two numbers we found in these two boxes. So it will be prime number only 1 and 3. And the larger number need to have the same sign as a sum, so it's negative 3. So plus 1 minus 3. Then the formal way to solve it is let each bracket equals 0. Then we solve for x. We move the plus 1 to other side, opposite operation is minus 1, so x equals negative 1. And minus 3, move to other side, solve for x, isolate x. Opposite operation is plus 3, so it's positive 3. They are opposite with a number inside the bracket. So we do the factoring, so times together will be the 3, add together will be the negative 4. So 1, 3 prime number, larger number need to be same as a sum, the sign. So the sign need to be same, negative, negative. Times together positive, so these two numbers need to have the same sign. So minus 1, minus 3. Then each bracket equals 0 to solve the x-intercept. Then we are going to have positive 1 and positive 3. So if you are able to see it right away, you don't need to show this step. Just go from here to here, then it's good. So the mark will be given. You factor it correctly, then you solve the x correctly, so 4 marks. And example 2 is not simple trinomial, it's called complex trinomial. We have a number is except 1 at front of x squared. So we need to times a and c together. So it's 5 times negative 3 give you negative 15. The I together is negative 2. We find the two numbers is 3 and 5. So larger number need to have the same sign as a sum, so it's negative, and times together negative, so 1 negative, 1 positive. This is tricky trinomial. We could use a grouping method, so rewrite negative 2x with the two numbers we got from the x game. Then after that, we are going to do the grouping method, so group the first two and factor it. 5x squared plus 3x, common factor is x. Each term divided by x, we have 5x plus 3. Then the last two terms, we need to have 5x plus 3 again. Then do the division, negative 5x divided by 5x is negative 1. Then equals 0. So we have x minus 1 bracket 5x plus 3. So the bracket, they are same. 5x plus 3, 5x plus 3. Then we could treat it as a unit. So x dollars minus $1. Then you will have x minus $1. Okay. Then each bracket equals 0. We solve for the x-intercepts. Each bracket equals 0, then if one bracket equals 0 times together will give you the y value is 0. That is called x-intercept. So x equals positive 1, move the minus 1 to other side. Then solve for x, we move the positive 3 to other side, then bring the 5 to other side. So 5x equals negative 3. Then bring the 5 to other side, do the opposite operation, you have division, so negative 3 over 5. So these are the two x-intercepts. And the next one, AC method again, A value times C value. So this is a standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? Times AC give you the two numbers times together need to equals A times C. So 2 times 6. And I together equals a B value. Is negative 1. Okay. So 12, we are going to have 3 and 4. So larger number is negative than small number because time together is positive, so you need to have both negative. But negative 3 minus 4 doesn't work, so this one not factorable. Then we are not going to do it now. So we are going to do only factorable stuff for solving x-intercept in this lesson. So this one, the A value at front of x squared is negative. We want to put it to change it to positive. So if we move all the numbers to other side, so we have 0 equals 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. The AC times together give us negative 10. I together is B value is 9. The two number will be 1 and 10, and the larger number need to have the same sign as a sum, so it's positive 9, so positive 10. Then times together negative, so 1 positive, 1 negative. Then we could use a box method or the grouping method shown on the page before. So minus 1x plus 10x, the two numbers you found, put it diagonally, so negative x plus 10x give you positive 9x. So this represents the same thing as your equation. So factor the first row is x, then do the division, 2x minus 1. Then negative 5 divided by negative 1 give you positive 5. Check this one. 2x times 5 give you 10x. Then this is one bracket. This is another bracket. So 0 equals x plus 5 and 2x minus 1. Then each bracket equals 0 to solve for the x-intercept. 2x minus 1 equals 0. So move the positive 5 to other side, give you opposite of positive 5 is negative 5. And this one move the negative 1 to other side, then move the 2 to other side, you will have 1 over 2. So this is a x-intercept. And for the next one, we have negative 3x. We want to have the positive a value, so we move all the terms to other side. So solving quadratic equation by factoring, you need to make sure one side is 0 because we are looking for the x-intercept on the x-axis, then y need to be 0. So one side equals 0 is same as y equals 0. So move the 3x, negative 3x squared to other side, change the sign. This one opposite, minus 8, then plus, this one expand, 2x plus 2. Then we are going to collect the like terms. So 3x squared minus 9x plus 2x have negative 7x. Then minus 8 plus 2 give you negative 6. X game AC times together negative 18. Then add together is negative 7. So you will have 2 and 9. Larger numbers same as the sum, the sign. The sign need to be both negative and times together negative, so one negative, another positive. Then we could use a box method to solve it, or we could use a grouping method that we shown on the last page to do it. So 2x, negative 9x. First row, x take out, do the division. Then negative 6 divided by 2, negative 3. This one check, yes. Negative 3 times 3x, negative 9x. So 0 equals x minus 3 times 3x plus 2. Then each bracket equals 0. Then we solve for x. Do the opposite operation. So x equals positive 3. And x equals negative 2 over 3. So move the 2 to other side, negative 2, then move the 3 to other side, divide. So this is what you need to know, how to solve quadratics by factoring. So factor it first, then each bracket equals 0. Then solve the linear equation by isolating x. Do the opposite operation, move the numbers to other side. Plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus, multiplication becomes divide. Okay? And part B is word problem. So a rocket is shot from a platform into the air and follows the quadratic equation h equals negative 5t squared plus 60t. So h is the height in meters and t is the time in seconds. So question A asks you from what height was a rocket shot. So if we sketch it, this one plus c value, the y-intercept will be, no number will be 0. So from here, it will shut. So it kind of like go up, then back. So this is negative 5, so open down. So this is t, this is h. So just now we have found the y-intercept is 0, so the initial height, this one is t equals 0, then find the height. From this graph, all substitute t equals 0 to the equation, it will give you 0. So for example, h equals negative 5 squared plus, replace the t using 0. Then you do the calculation, 0 plus 0 give you 0, okay? And the same as a c equals a c value. C is 0, then you have 0. So no numbers for adding, subtracting. By default, it is 0. So question B. When is the height of the rocket at 55 meters? So this question asks you for the t. And in the given quadratic expression, we have 2 letters. In order to solve for t, we need to have only one variable left. It means h need to be given. So h equals 55. Sub in to the equation, we have 55 equals negative 5t squared plus 60t. Like we shown before, we don't want to see the negative a value, so we move these two terms to other side. Then make sure one side is 0. So we move negative 5t squared to other side, becomes opposite operation is positive 5t. Positive 60t minus move to other side becomes minus 60t, then plus 55. So we want to use factoring to solve this equation. First thing, always we need to find if we have any greatest common factor. So these three numbers ending with 5 and 0, so you will have 5 as a common factor. So we are going to take the 5 outside of the bracket, then each term divide by 5. So 5t squared divided by 5 is 1t squared. Negative 60 divided by 5 give you negative 12t. 55 divided by 5 give you 11. That equals 0. So this is a simple trinomial. So we just need to find the two numbers times together equals 11, add together equals negative 12. So 11 is a prime number, so only 11 and 1. Larger number need to be same as a sign. The sign need to be same as the sum, so it will be negative. Times together positive, so one negative, another one need to be negative. So negative 1, negative 11 times together give you positive 11, add together negative 12. So this is a factor form. We could get the zeros right away, so t equals 1 and t equals 11. So what this one means, if we draw a height 55 here, then the rocket reaches 55 at 1 second, then coming back at 55 at 11 seconds. So the rocket will reach, okay, the rocket is at 55 meters when t equals 1 and 11 seconds. So reach 55 meters twice. And question C asks you when the rocket will hit the ground. So when you are looking for t, then you need to give the height. In one equation you have two different letters, means two variables. We are not able to solve it. We need to have one letter, one variable left. So when we are looking for t, the height need to be given. So height equals 0, hit the ground. So we have 0 equals negative 5 t squared plus 60t. Then we don't want to see the negative, so we move the negative 5t squared and the positive 60t to other side by changing the opposite operation. Okay, minus 5 becomes plus 5, plus 60 becomes minus 60t. Then we have two terms. We want to see if we have common factors. So 5 and 60 we have 5. T squared, t we have the lowest degree for variable is 1. So we take the lowest degree out. These are the common factor, greatest common factor. That each term divided by 5t, you will have t minus 12 equals 0. And for this one, this t have no numbers. In the bracket, we could be write it as t minus 0, t minus 12. Then we have t equals 0 and t equals 12. So this is a factor form, 1t at front. So therefore, the t equals 0 is at the very beginning the rocket is shot, so it's not hitting the ground. So only at t equals 12 the rocket will hit the ground. So the rocket will hit the ground at 12 seconds. Okay, so this is for question C. Then just one more example. And in grade 10 academic math, you are not going to be asked to set up equations for quadratic functions. So the equation is given here, and I will explain x equals one of the number. Okay, we could say the smaller number of the two numbers. Then the difference of the two numbers is 8, so okay, it will be plus 8. Or this one equals a larger number. Okay, so x, the difference is 8, so another number will be plus 8. For example, if one number, smaller number is 1, then the difference of two numbers is 8, another number will be 1 plus 8 equals 9. So the difference is one number x, another one number will be plus 8 or minus 8. So we let smaller number is x, and another number will be plus 8. Then we are going to write the equation, set up equation. So if you have the verb is, then it means it's equal sign. So the sum of the squares, sum means plus, squares of two numbers. So you have one number, this is another number, so squares means x squared and x plus 8 bracket squared. Okay, then we are going to solve this equation. In order to solve this equation, we need to make sure no brackets, so we need to expand x plus 8. So x plus 8 squared means x plus 8 times x plus 8. So you are going to have 4 terms. X times each term in the second bracket, so x times x, x squared, x times 8, 8x. Then 8 times each term in the second bracket, so 8 times x, 8x, 8 times 8 is 64. So be careful, the common mistake is some students just apply the squared to x and 8 is not right. So if you have x squared plus 8 squared, this is not right. Okay, you should have 4 terms. Just like you are going to draw the box. Okay, you could use a box method to expand. So x plus 8, x plus 8, you have x squared, 8x, 8x, 64. So you will have 2 by 2, 4 terms. So we are going to write it down. So x squared plus 8x plus 8x plus 64. Then we want to move everything to one side. So it will be minus 104. Then we collect the like terms. So x squared, same variable, same degree. We call them like terms. So 1 plus 1 give you 2x squared. Treat the x squared as a unit. So 1 plus 1, then $1 plus $1 give you $2. So x squared is not x to the exponent 4. So 1 apple plus 1 apple give you 2 apple, not apple squared. So this is adding, the unit won't change. So 8x, then you will have 16x. 64 minus 104 give you minus 40 equals 0. Then we are going to do the factoring all even numbers, you have 2 as common factor. So each term divided by 2, we have 8x minus 20. Then we are going to factor this one. It's simple trinomial. So times together will be focus on whatever inside the bracket. So minus 20, add together 8. So we have 2 and 10. Larger number need to have the same sign as the sum. It's positive. So smaller number will be negative. Then from here is factor form. So you could write each bracket equals 0. The 2 we just divide by 2 to both sides, then 2 will be gone. Or another one, x plus 10 equals 0. So we move the minus 2 to other side, becomes positive 2 and negative 10. Positive 10 to other side will be negative 10. So the two numbers will be one is 2, smaller number is 2, and the larger number will be plus 8. Is 10. So the difference between these two numbers is 2 and 10. Or smaller number is negative 10 and the larger number is negative 10 plus 8 give you negative 2. So you will have two solutions, two different pairs of numbers. One pair is 2 and 10, another pair is negative 10 and negative 2. So in this video, we have go over the steps how to solve a quadratic equation. It's very important thing is make sure one side is 0. So you are looking for the x-intercepts. So on the x-axis, y is 0. So we need to make sure that we are solving for x-intercept, then y is 0, so one side is 0. So you could think this is y equals the whole expression, okay? And we let y equals 0 to solve for the x-intercept. Then after that, we are going to collect all the like terms and always look for the greatest common factor first. If you have any, take it out. Then after that, using the AC, if A is 1, then it's simple trinomial factoring. If simple trinomial, you don't need to use the box. Otherwise, you need to use box to factor it, then each bracket equals 0. So for the box method is the number you found from the AC method, you put diagonally inside the bracket, then factor the first row, then do the division. 3 divisions. So this is the number inside the box divided by the one side to give you the other side. Okay, so this is all for this video. Thanks for watching.